I covered Monstrous a couple months ago on this channel, but I feel it's worth revisiting. Monstrous gets points from me because it attempts to tell a different story rather than go the tried and true route most films go. For that, despite a few faults, I recommend this film for those looking for an extremely strong Bigfoot flick. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. While you might be watching this video on the Kings of Horror Network, I urge you to click over to my ML Miller Frights YouTube page and give it a like. Please share with all of your buddies. Click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Monstrous is available on demand, digital download, and it's also streaming on Tubi. It's directed by Bruce Wemple and written by Anna Shields. When their friend goes missing on a trip from Michigan to Whitehall, New York, Sylvia and Jamie, played by Anna Shields and Grant Schumacher, are devastated. It seems many women have gone missing in the Whitehall, New York area, and Jamie is convinced that the Sasquatch activity in the area is the cause. When Jamie answers an ad on Facebook to share a ride to go to Whitehall, he plans to investigate what happened to his friend. But when he can't go due to the ramifications of a bad burrito, he sends Sylvia in his place. This is where Alex, played by Rachel Finnegar, comes in. Alex turns out to be the rideshare, and Sylvia feels safe to go on the trip because she's a woman instead of the guy they were expecting. So Sylvia and Alex take to the road and end up in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with a very real Bigfoot outside wanting to come in. Now, I don't want to get into the details of the twists and turns that occur in Monstrous. I'll just say that the script is an unpredictable one. Much of the film develops the budding relationship between Sylvia and Alex, two women who find themselves attracted to one another as they get to know each other on this road trip. While the film begins with a car hitting what looks to be a baby Bigfoot, followed by a vicious Bigfoot attack, it shifts into something much more poignant. Sure, it slows the pace down, but having seen way too many movies that star Chad Michael Murray or Lance Henriksen trouncing around the woods looking for Bigfoot only to, you guessed it, happen upon Bigfoot, I'm happy for the change. We get an interesting story of two strangers coming together, at least for the first 40 or so minutes. And just because the film develops character in the first half doesn't mean there's no action, gore, or Bigfooting going on. Unlike many Bigfoot films, there's a reason Bigfoot is attacking this cabin and stalking these girls. The film does a great job of doing some sleight of hand in regards to what's going on and what everyone's motivations are, including the Bigfoots. The attacks are brutal, leaving the actors completely messed up and battered. I also love the way that they showcase the size of the Bigfoot as being utterly, monstrous in size, standing at least 9 to 10 feet tall. While I had some issues with the Bigfoot mask, director Bruce Wemple smartly only shows his face for one brief scene. The rest of the time, it's just a mass of hair, pummeling, stomping, and tearing through anything in its path. By focusing on the size rather than the distinguishing features like hands and face, you don't run into the issue of it simply looking like a guy in a monkey suit. This is an effective-looking Bigfoot because of the sheer weight of the way it's framed in each harrowing scene that it's in. Across the board, Monstrous has a fantastic cast. Anna Shields, who also wrote this film, offers up a nuanced role requiring her to show her innocence as well as a gruff, more hard-edged side. Rachel Finnegar is equally interesting as Alex. She comes across as someone who wants to protect Anna's Sylvia, yet both of them are moving very cautiously in this relationship, and it seems that both have been burned in the past. Grant Schumacher rounds out the main cast. He offers some fun comic relief as the doofy Jamie, who ends up in the middle of the mess with the Bigfoot as well. Monstrous is one of the more sophisticated Sasquatch stories I've seen in recent memory. Having seen way too many bad ones, it's great seeing writers being creative with the beast, actually writing a story around the creature rather than making it your typical sci-fi snoozer. Filled with a lot of heart and soul, but never forgetting to be character-driven, exciting, and downright brutal at times, Monstrous is a film that will make fans of Squatchploitation films proud. I give Monstrous 4 mighty feats. That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your